If you assign filters to control the results of a view, those filters can be exposed to the end user. Once you've configured the filter with the appropriate operator and comparing it against the vocabulary that you wish to use, then you can choose this option to expose the filter to visitors and allow them to change it. Selecting this will cause Drupal to inject an appropriate widget into the page to allow the user to edit the values. You can also control access to a view by either permission or by role. If you do select to control access to a view by role, you can choose from any of the roles that you've defined for the system. You can also summarize information from a view by a summary with arbitrary filtered or unfiltered text, or by injecting another view within the footer area of a view. If you do summarize within a footer, tokens are available to provide page count, totals, and similar information. Let's walk through adding these features. In our book grid view, I will open it up to edit, and then I want to expose a filter to allow the end user to filter the results by book genre. So I'll add a new filter to the view, and recall that I had previously added a genre field to my book content type. I'll select that field and then choose a drop-down as the widget type to expose the related vocabulary to the user. So I want my user to be able to filter by one of these terms that have been added to the genre vocabulary. To allow the user to make the selection, I'll check to expose this filter to visitors and allow them to change it, and I'll modify the label, which by default does have the underlying machine name added to it. I'll apply this to the display, and now in the auto preview, I see that I will have a drop-down allowing my user to select by their preferred genre. Next, I want to add a footer that will summarize the results of the view for any given display. Here, I'll go ahead and accept to display the start and end of the total number of records, but note that I could modify this by adding markup into the field to customize the display. Many other options would be available to customize the display as well. In my preview, I now see summary information being displayed in a footer at the bottom of the page. Last, I want to control access to this view by role instead of by permission, which is the default. So I'll select the access option and change the access restriction from permission to role, apply this change, and then I want this particular view to be accessible only to users that have the reviewer role. I'll apply this change and then save these changes to the view. I'll go out to the main page and I'll use the Masquerade module we installed previously to masquerade as my Fred Friendly account. Fred Friendly does have the reviewer role, and so the book grid is available. However, if I switch back and instead masquerade as my Ginger Bayer account, which does not belong to the reviewer role, I am not allowed to access the page, and in fact the book grid has disappeared from the menu entirely.